it's working. Things are maybe working. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. We are live. Greetings. Greetings, humans. Oh, I need to turn that down. Let's see. Where are we? There we go. One of these days. Professional show. Yada, yada, yada. Computer decides to crap out on Bear. Finally goes online here, and literally his headphones just decide to come loose on him. So that is going to be dangling. We'll just put that off to the side for right now. Hello, everyone! There made it! He's finally here. Okay, let's see if it will work here. 1 second, people. This was fun. This was, for crying out loud. Why does it do that? Oh my god. Okay, so I have an issue here where, let me see if it will do it on the other one here. Okay, get out of that. Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope everyone is doing wonderful today. We've got a fun-filled show for you good people. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, yada, yada, yada. Professional show. I have no idea how I am going to be able to do this show this evening. It will work. Okay, that works. Good. We'll go back. It will go back. Okay. Now it says news. I don't have any news. Okay, so I can take that off. Yes, that works. Browser. I can see you good people. There we are. We may have just finagling, just the outer edges of a show here. It won't be a professional show, not by a long shot. But here we are. Here we are, good people. Great to have everyone here. Amy, I'm assuming Melissa as well, and P Money. I hope not too many people left waiting for beer here. Let's see. No, okay. Hello all, Star Wars Killer. It's true. We'll talk about that in just a minute here. Did finally somebody murder Jar Jar? No, somebody finally murdered Disney Plus. It is dead. D-E-A-D, dead. Dead, dead, dead. He's laid there, put down the salmon. There's computer issues. I had to restart 3 times, but that's okay. It's always funny. It's like, okay, it's the show where you have everything set up. You're like, I've got plenty of time. Watch a little video here, do everything, and then, like, all of a sudden, nothing works. Nothing. I tried to get it out of the video that I'm watching on YouTube. The only thing that worked was the shorts. I don't know why that was the only thing. I couldn't even log out. Restarted everything. Came back, same problems. Restarted again. OBS. It would literally shift. Um, click on everything. Click on everything. So if you're trying to scroll down or do something on the scroll thing here on OBS, it's like literally selecting everything that Bear has to put up there. So that is Bear's problem. That's not your problem. But there we are. Let's see. Bear can't risk the salmon getting away. No, not at all. Not if it comes between you good people and salmon. I'm sorry, but salmon's gonna take priority, people. Let's see. They're all good. I'm assuming the kids. I'm watching Bear. I said they could join me, but the kids wanted to watch Mr. Beast instead. What was he like? Crushing a Lamborghini or something like that. I'm sure that's more important. More important. That's fine. That is fine. Let's see. Somebody called Bear's Cave. Tell him. By the way, the phone. I tell you, this is 47 called Bear. Okay. All right. I'm getting caught up to you good people. Caught up. Let's see. Hello, Shells. How are the books today? There we are. Let's see. That was a very scary greetings tonight. I'm sorry. That was a lot of angry frustration. I didn't even know if we were going to be able to do a show. Kind of like the one that we did the other day. The hurricane passed through. We still had electricity and cable, and then all of a sudden the cable, like an hour before Bear goes on the show, it cuts out. And it's like, oh, and then like 5 minutes before it comes back on. So, whew, whew. There we are. There we go. Great to see Amy. Let's see. One of these days, Bear will do a 30-year veteran of the woods. Wouldn't count on that. I think your computer planned it. That's true. I was watching Mike's show the other night. I was like, oh god, it's not going to start smoking, is it? Literally just got this like less than a year ago. So the computer craps out at this point. It's like, oh Christ. They're doing the Apple event on Tuesday, but I don't think they're coming out with any new computers. iPhones for sure, but no new computers there. Let's see, Bear blaming the OBS, but I think he looked at too much salmon websites and it crashed the computer. There you go. By the way, if anybody hadn't checked out last Wednesday's show, we did a little bit where we went to the different websites. So let's see, Irenee Draws, Alterna Comics, and Eric Weathers. Eric Letters Do Much. Doing something a little bit different. They're kind of doing Herbie, their own, making their own way. Instead of going through Indiegogo, they're going to make it on their own. Shane Davis, I should have probably put Shane's in there as well. Didn't even think about it. They're kind of going on their own way. So Bear clipped that out. So if you want to check it out, got it on the video out there. So do make sure you check that out. Some good stuff there. Got a nice little note there from Publishing Pete. So pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Let's see. The two most beautiful Lesters. I know we're here. That's true, P-Money. It is a true. That's true. All right. Let's. How the hell am I going to do this? I have no way to get to the news that we were going to do tonight. So that's scratched. Haha. Zing. Let's see. Let's see if this will work for Bear to do some campaign updates. And then we'll get into, man, oh man, it took them 2 seasons, 2 freaking seasons. But the foundation has finally become good. And it might actually knock off a little bit of a Star Wars here, people. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about that here in just a minute. That's why Lee Pace is just looking so happy. He's like, oh boy. You know, they were talking about Apple buying out Disney. It's like, no, why? Why would they? They've got a Star Wars killer already. They don't need Star Wars. They can get by without it. Who cares? They got Peanuts as well. They don't need Mickey. Screw that. So, anyways, let's check out one of the things here. Oh well, let's see. From Uncle E here, doing pretty well. CyberFrog 3. Last Bear checked, it was just shy of 530,000. So he got an extra couple thousands there. Congratulations, sir. 532,352. So kind of in a little bit of the doldrums here. You know, it picks up very when it first when the campaign first comes out. And it kind of goes through a little phase there and might bump up like every end of the month or something like that, but really doesn't pick up until like the campaign starts to close or if they offer something new on there. So hey, even with the doldrums, doing pretty well. All right, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works, people. Oh, for crying! Why does it do that? No. I'll try. I'll see if this. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Oh no, it doesn't do that. What the heck? Okay, it should. Do I not have it? Oh, I'm sorry, people. 1 second here. Let me do the thing with the thing here. That's not what I want to do. Hold on. Why is it not? See, it is clicking on other stuff. Why is it doing this? So you go to click on something and it clicks on like 3 other things. Okay. Click there. Okay, let's see if it will. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, let me cancel that. And it's probably because it's on another. This is odd. Okay, no, I don't want that. No, okay, no, I don't. Computers, OBS, BS. All right, let's see if it will try and do another one here. 1 second here, people. Okay, let's see if we can. No, why? For some reason, it is like Bear's not even doing it, but like it'll shift and it will like capture everything. Like I can't show it, but it literally captures everything here. God, why did CyberFrog work? And now CyberFrog doesn't work. Okay. Let's see, can I get rid of the chat? There we go. Why does that? That's what you want to do for people is just talk about, stuff. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, click off of this. 1 second here, people. No, it's not working. All right, well, let's go back. The beautiful pace of Lee Pace here. I'll just have to read it off for you people. I'm sorry. So sorry here. From Aaron Lopresti. Aaron Lopresti, he says, shocking but true. He says, hey everyone, guess what? I'm done. Oh, well, Aaron, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sir. I know the Comics Gate realm can be hard sometimes, but, he's just tapping out. Just tapping out. Can't handle it anymore. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. He says he's done with the Wraith of God Bloodhunters story. The nightclub story is finished. The Garbage Man story is finished. The Kit Carter story is finished. The Stretch Goal Empire info and letter pages are finished. All 4 of the introductory title pages for each story are finished. The entire book, with the designer being prepared for the printer, I would assume that the book will be ready and delivered to the printer next week. What a long journey, he says. The final book you'll receive is 108 pages long. He says, I don't have a delivery date yet, but I should have one to report once the files get sent in and I get a return proof from the printers. This all means that the campaign will be shutting down probably within a week, people. So if you haven't ordered, how dare you? Or you know someone who was waiting for the book to be finished before backing rather, let them know that the time is running out. They got a week. Probably less than that. Let's see, this is the 8th, so less than a week. Thank you all for your continued support, and I will be back in touch once I know dates from the printer there. So, there you go. Nice little. I can't remember if the Dan Lawless, if it was a print or a cover, but he's got a nice little thing there. Let's just, for s and giggles here, let's just see if this works. Let's see. No, it's still doing a thing. Okay. No, no, no. Anywho, that is why there is a blank screen there. The bear can do nothing about. All right, let's see. Let's see, people, if this other stuff will work. Come on, please. For the love of my audience here, let's see if this will work. All right, come on, bear. No! Oh, OBS. Normally, I would reset OBS, but it would probably kick off the stuff here. All right, let's see. Can I get rid of the browser? Okay, the browser will go. Thumbnail will go. Okay. Why can't I? It works! Oh, I just got to click on the eye. Okay. Well, this is, I'm sure, fascinating for every single one of you people out there. But very, very important here. Let me see if this will click off. Please work. Please work. It works. Oh, thank God. Okay. We're on a wing and a prayer out there. So prayers out for Beer that this will actually work. All right. Star Wars. Bear has not. Didn't want to get into anything with Star Wars. We'll wind back here for just a second. Probably a couple months ago, I think they were announcing the whole new slate of new movies that they were coming out and TV shows. From Lucasfilm, they had a number of movies that they were. It was going to come out. Let's see, what was the guy that did the Indiana Jones movie? He was going to do one, and there was a couple others. I think they were already delayed. So Beer remembered at the time. He's talking about this. This movie, blah 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 blah. And literally everybody in the chat is talking about stuff that's completely different that had nothing to do with the topic. So Beer knew right then. Well, probably knew before then, but knew right then and there. This whole Star Wars stuff, it's dead. Nobody wants to talk about it. Let's just put it off to the side. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They actually came out with this show. What's the name of the show? Ahsoka or something like that. Anyways, came out with that. The usual crowd of people out there. Oh, it's terrible. Blah 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 blah. It could be terrible. It could be the best show ever. Bear doesn't watch it. Doesn't know. Doesn't care. So, anyways, they've got the Star Wars show out that everybody's watching. The lightsabers, this and that, blah 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 blah. Disney, doing its thing. It bought Star Wars. It can do whatever the hell it wants to. It puts, I believe this is like a female centric Star Wars. Like all the characters are female for whatever reason. So there's that. But anyways, they're off doing their own thing. just basically trashing Star Wars. It's went into the dumpster. Nobody cares about it anymore. Bear doesn't care at all. He's a Star Trek fan, and boy, I tell you, people, they destroyed Star Trek. So, no love really here for Star Wars. But man, oh man, there has been. I just wanted to show some of this stuff here. Okay, so this is Disney with its one would assume prime properties. A major show on Disney Plus. It's the show that Disney hopes is going to bring in a whole bunch of people and spend, I don't know, what is it, 5, 10, $12 a month for Disney Plus. Spend the money, come watch Disney Plus. Watch the Shoker show or whatever the hell it's called. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. Uh, I don't know how much money they spent on this, but it didn't look like they spent enough. I'm trying to show, went through some of this stuff from Downing into Comics, trying to find some good pictures there. So I'm hoping these are some of the best scenes, some of the best parts of the show that they have out there. I didn't want to go back to some of the other ones. I would just do the one that they have recently here. So this is what Star Wars looks like right now on Disney Plus, a high-profile show that they want everybody to come see. Okay, so Bear has been watching just kind of on a lark, here. Okay, let me see if this works. Please work. Oh, it works. Oh, thank God. Okay, so anyways, Bear has been watching a show on Apple TV. It's called The Foundation. Um, Based on the books Isaac Asimov did a number of years back. I think started off in the 1950s, had probably about 6 or 8 books in the series. Some of them were short stories, some of them were full-length novels, all that sort of stuff. So probably about 6 or 8 books in the whole series up till 1993, 94. I forget when he died, but a good length of time, a good number of books that they had out there. Plenty of source material. So Apple went out, bought it, brought in, I believe, his daughter to come in with the show to talk about some of the stuff to keep it relatively close to the source material, even though they've went off and done some of their own things. Now, because the Foundation was written back in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and whatnot, when George Lucas was coming out to do Star Wars, he actually ended up wanting to do Flash Gordon. He wasn't able to do Flash Gordon because of the copyright or something along those lines. So he ended up writing and coming up with Star Wars, the one that we know, love here today. But he ended up taking a little bit of ideas from other source material. One of them, one of the more famous ones, with trying to remember who wrote it. John Carter from Mars. I want to say Burroughs, who wrote that. Um, let's see, there was another one that he took inspiration from. But also the Foundation as well. Foundation basically is the fall of the Roman Empire, but in space. It's a very simple explanation to it, but there you go. Kind of the fall of the Roman Empire. So you have, you got your rebels with the Foundation. You've got the Empire out there. So you've got kind of a clash between an Empire and a rebel. It's not an apples to apples comparison. Ha ha. But pretty close. Similar veins of different stuff. They had the penultimate show last night. I believe the season finale is next Friday. Man, oh man, oh man, what an excellent show. Bear has been ragging on the Foundation for quite a while. Excellent production values, but I got into the woke stuff. I really enjoyed all the Lee Pace stuff, but like you see here, the sort of very woke. I don't like a lot of there's a lot of psychic stuff involved. So he's the lady there. I call her Water Girl. Water Girl, and the sort of the other lady there. She was trying to steal her brain, essentially. I don't know. That stuff was okay, but like the Empire stuff, all that sort of stuff. Excellent stuff. They finally brought it together, people. They finally brought it together. The show last night was essentially, if you ended up watching the first Star Wars film, well, not the first one, what was that? the one back in the 70s. Number three, I guess you'd call it. Basically like that, but slightly different. It was really, really interesting where they flipped the script on it. So, the Foundation, last season, they ended up getting basically, essentially their version of the Death Star, that they've had for a while on their home planet there. The Empire comes back. They were exiled away to the far reaches of the galaxy out there. Empire decides, hey, wait a minute, we exiled these people a long while back. Let's go check in on them. So they go in there and check in on them and find out, hey, you guys aren't a bunch of librarians that are, keeping all the records safe when the whole thing collapses. This will be the library, the great library that everybody will go to rebuild civilization. No, they actually had weapons. They had like weapons inside their quote unquote church and all this other stuff. So they come down. It's like he's like, by the way, spoiler alert, people. He's like, hell no, with all this sort of stuff. So they end up going to battle with one another. It was the Empire that ended up destroying the quote unquote the Death Star on the rebel side with a fighter shooting lasers down the tube or whatever. That ended up blowing up. They got rid of that, and then they decided to shove the whole thing into the planet, which blew up the freaking planet. It was like holy cow! So at the very end, that was the thumbnail. That's Empire. That's Lee Pace there. He's like looking at the planet exploding with this just giant grin on his face, just like, yeah, right on, I love this. And Bear's like, hell yeah, finally, you guys have finally figured this out, and you finally just completely destroyed Star Wars. So the source, part of the source material for Star Wars, came back with an Apple TV. There's the planet exploding right there. There's Lee Pace. Oh, the big grin on his face. Man, oh man, if that ended the entire series, that would have been just excellent right there. But no, very excellent. This is Bear's just gonna come out and say it, people. I know it's sacrilege. Star Wars is dead. This is completely gonna overtake it. I please hope that the next episode doesn't go to crap. I hope I'm not stringing people along. All you gotta do is just watch this one episode, 100 and some odd minutes. It's kind of like a short movie. Pretty much everything except for Water Girl and female Chris Rock here. She's changed her hair, but she had the big kind of Chris Rock look, big tall hair, kind of like the mid-90s kind of Chris Rock look. Anyways, their whole story, they're fighting on the psychic planets, doing all that sort of stuff. It's funny because they got so many things going on. They bounce back and forth a lot of times between scenes. So they'll bounce back between the Foundation or the people on the ships, or the Empire stuff. What's going on? So they're doing all that. So they had the fight between female Chris Rock and another character. Of course, the lady beating up on the you know more masculine man, so they still have the woke stuff. I'm not saying it's completely out. Hopefully they just push it off to the side a little bit more there. So they started fighting, and then they cut the scene to go to something else, and then it cuts back like 5 or 10 minutes later, and they're still fighting. Like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. Pretty cool. I'm sure you would have gotten knocked out pretty quickly, but other than that, there you are. Excellent show. By the way, let me see, please, dear God, let this work. Um, if you're curious at all, Bear was actually watching this video before he came on. In fact, that's probably why it screwed up Bear. But if you want, after the fact here, go check it out. What was his name? I want to give credit here. 1 second. Um, Pete Poppers. Pete Poppers. Apparently he is. God dang it! Why does it keep doing that? Apparently he's like a TV sort of critic. So he had the showrunner, David S. Goyer. You probably know him from the Blade, the original Blade movie. He also wrote. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but he also wrote the Batman and Superman movie, and also the first Superman movie, Man of Steel. And a couple other ones as well, but probably the more well-known stuff. So I would say the big difference between the two, Star Wars a little bit more fantasy with science elements in it, where this one's very, very much science focused with a little bit of fantasy elements with the psychic and all the other stuff going on there. So very, very good. Go check it out. Just the channel, so you can kind of get the idea. Go watch that video there. You kind of get a little bit better picture rather than what Bear is showing here with just a couple photographs. But I just wanted to show the difference. Okay, so let me hopefully please work, please work, please work. Okay, there we go. So just look at the difference between the way that the Star Wars is shot here, quality wise, cinematography. By the way, they get blown out of the freaking water with the digital effects. Weta is one of the just probably I would say the best visual effects company out there today. Stole it from LucasArts. Stolen LucasArts ain't there anymore. Weta, you probably know them from Lords of the Ring, and they've done the Avatar movies. So they're pretty good. They know what the hell they're doing there. Compare that. Just compare some of these shots with some of these, and it's like night and day. Night and day. That's one of Bear's sort of odd complaints is in some of the other episodes that he just wasn't super into. It was still shot like $1 million. I mean, just simple scenes. Simple scenes. I mean, they just threw money right after left. A lot of the scenes in the first original Star Wars movies where it was like set piece design. I'm thinking of the one where they're in like the hangar of either the starship or the Star Killer or whatever, where they're in the hangar where they have like hundreds of extras and everything out the back. So all of those sort of great set piece designs that you liked in the original Star Wars movies that they got rid of because of green screen and all the other crap, that's in here. That's in the Foundation. So they spent like a whole crap ton of money. I mean, Apple has more money than God out there, so they spent their money on it, and for mixed results until the previous episode here, which just completely knocked Beer over here. So there we are, people. There we are. Do go check it out if you're able to. If you got the Apple Plus, or Apple, excuse me, the Apple TV. Wait, Apple. What is it? Apple TV or Apple Plus? Apple TV Plus, whatever the hell it is. Anyways, the Apple streaming service. Do go check it out. Beer would just recommend just for this episode. You can just forget all the other stuff. Just whatever. If you do go check it out, just fast forward through all the Foundation stuff and just check out the Empire stuff. But yeah, Man oh Man, excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. Very heady, very just deep, very a lot of themes that are going on. Of course, Isaac Asimov wrote iRobots. They're doing a lot of stuff with the robot, the female character here that you see. She's actually, spoiler alert, she's actually a robot, the last robots. They spent the first 20 minutes of the episode just basically kind of going back and explaining where she came from and the first um, the clone, all of the Empire emperors here are clones, so they're all clones from the original. This guy, the original emperor here. So the robot is, she is sort of the right hand lady of the Empire. There, just kind of guiding things along. So. It wouldn't be fair to compare her to like Darth Vader. That's not a very fair comparison there, but somewhat similar there, somewhat similar. So yeah, excellent show. Completely destroyed Star Wars. I have no reason. There's really no reason to go watch another Star Wars television show because the Foundation showed him how to do it. Showed him how to do it and completely blew him out of the water. Completely blew him out of the water. Let's see. PMA says the plan was a Star Wars movie every year, and it's been 4 years since the last movie. By the way, I would say the effects in this show are better than the Star Wars films, or at least comparable. At least comparable with the Star Wars films. that's what I'm saying. How much money that they've spent on all this stuff. So it is just um, really incredible. It took them a long time. It took them almost 2 seasons to finally get there, but they finally got there. Finally got there. I almost stood up and applauded at this last scene with Lee Pace here. I'm like, yeah, right on. Man, oh man, Lee Pace needs to get all of the Emmy awards too. He's just knocking it out of the park. Even in some of the just trudgery episodes that Bear just got, it's just like, okay, let's get through this episode. I always perked up a little bit whenever I saw old Lee Pace on the screen here. It's like, oh, right on, right on. Yeah, there you go, Melissa. All the classic space pulp. So yeah, I mean, Star Wars pulled a lot of them from different places. So I don't want to I don't want to make an apples to apples comparison here, but if you like Star Wars, and if you think that the Star Wars TV shows are lacking in what was really good back in the original movie days, go check out this show. Believe me, just this episode. You don't even have to watch the rest of the series. Just the episode and tell Bear, yeah, that's a good baton passing from Star Wars to a new one here. I would definitely tell you people, go check it out, please, by all means. Oh, I'm behind on the chat here. Oh, good to see Gabrielle. Good to see Gabrielle here. Let me see. Everybody takes from John Carter. There you go. Maybe a Macintosh apples to Granny Smith apples comparison. There you go, people. My goodness, a lot of excitement, says Amy. It's true. It's true. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird thing where you go into something not expecting. You know, you're trying to. I was literally last night. I was like, okay, I guess I'll check out the Foundation, and there is also gearing up to do another Rambo watch along. So I was like, I don't want to do a watch along with Foundation. Nobody really watches the show. Nobody really cares about it. Yeah, I'll check it out. Whatever. Excellent. I was at the end like, yes, finally, you guys figured out how to do a good show and a complete show, not like 5 minutes here and like 10 minutes of crap and then another 5 minutes. I mean, look, it's still got some woke parts in there. I don't think they'll fully get rid of it, but yes, very much excited. Mainly because it was like, holy cow, this was completely unexpected. They did a space battle better than Star Wars did. I don't think I've seen a good space battle like they did here in the last 20 years. 20 years or so. They were literally trying to figure out the last time he was excited about a TV show that he watched. I mean, not quite the Shield or the Wire levels, but like an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. I mean, it's yeah. And Bear says that not as a big Star Wars fan. So there you are. Maybe a psychic planet is set up for season 2. Season 3, you mean? Season 3. We'll see if they get a season 3. It's kind of up in the air. They were supposed to have a 3-season order, although I haven't seen anything about season 3. It's still a little nebulous. So hopefully little shows like this get a little excitement for people out there, and hopefully they take a second look at it. I know probably not a lot of people have watched the show. There's not like a whole lot of buzz around the Foundation. I remember me and Jiminy Cricket were talking about it. He was the one that got Beer onto doing watch-alongs. I did a watch-along of the Foundation season finale last season, and nobody showed up to watch with Bear. So I was like, maybe it's not people's favorite show. So I mean, yeah, it may go away. You never know, but it would be a shame because they finally hit their stride. Finally hit their stride. It's like, no, don't go away. Don't go away. I'm going to see Sam here. Hello to Sam. Good deal. Oh, okay. Gabrielle says, I am so happy that someone is finally talking about this show. Actually, Bear talked about it last season, but nobody was around to commensurate with Bear. That's all right. That's all right. let's see. Virtually none of the TV, film, or excuse me, film and TV review channels have covered Foundation. I know. Uh, the flip side of it. Okay, you don't like the Ahsoka show. Okay, fine. What's a good show to go watch? You know, a lot of the big channels they don't really tell you, hey, here's something good. Usually it's, this is terrible. Okay, great. I could have figured that out because it's Disney Plus and it's Disney Star Wars. I mean, that doesn't. Beer had no real desire to go see the latest Star Wars movies. I haven't seen a single one. Don't care. Actually, no. I saw maybe 30 minutes of the first one with Rey and the planet and all that sort of. That was interesting, but I like the practical effects. That was actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. Anyways, Gabrielle continues. She says, I love Star Wars, but this show is far superior to Disney's output. That is the title of the show here. Yeah, something very okay. So Gabrielle might know what Bear's talking about. So they've got what Bear calls Space Jesus. Henry Seldon, he predicted the collapse of the Empire. Is sent away to go out to the far reach of the universe. Um, he martyrs himself, so he dies. Space Jesus dies, but he also lives. So Space Jesus came back, and let's see, he's in he spoiler alert, he was in the planet that got blown up. He was there. But he's also at another foundation that they're trying to set up. So one of the interesting things is they have a theory in physics in essentially chaos theory, M theory of superpositioning. Essentially, an unobserved event. Very simply, if you lose your car keys and your couch cushions, your car keys could be in the couch cushions, or it could be on a planet 10,000 light years away. Because you don't observe it, it could be in two places at once. Very simple explanation to it. The show The Foundation actually uses this physics principle as a foundational element of where Henry Seldon is, as far as essentially a backup. He did a hard drive backup of himself, so he's in two different places, and they use superpositioning to describe how that works. I don't know if there's any show or movie in existence that's ever really talked about any of that stuff. Really just deep, heady stuff if you know about it, but they keep it on the surface level. So if you just want to enjoy a TV show, you can. So really just interesting stuff. So I'm glad Gabrielle enjoys it. Glad she does it. She also says, this show is what I had hoped for in a Star Wars production. Boom! Nail on the coffin. It is closed up, people. Star Wars is dead. Hopefully, if you do enjoy Star Wars, the folks over there at Apple don't screw it up too much. Again, Gabrielle can kind of back there up here. It does have some woke elements in there. They took a major character and gender swapped that character. They didn't need to do it. Oh, in the show here, in the last episode here, they have a. He's like a starship captain of a giant ship out there, and he has a romantic interest that's like a second lieutenant or second officer. Now they could have easily made it a beautiful woman, but instead they made it a dude, and he's got the gay relationship, and blah 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 blah. It's fine. It doesn't really detract from anything. It just wasn't necessary. I think they just need a check mark on there. Oh, hey, we've got a gay romantic relationship in the show. Okay, all right, fine, whatever. So I mean, there's elements to that it's not 100%, but Bear will take 80% any day of the week here. Any day of the week, especially when it's been like at the best 10 or 20% out there. So there you go. All right, where am I? Too many chats for Beer to get through here. Let's see. People saying hello, hello to everyone. Hello to everyone. It is Apple TV. It is Apple TV. So, you could do the. I forget how much it is a month. You could yeah, $5, $6, something like that. You could just get it for 1 month, binge watch all of the episodes, and then cancel. I don't think even if it comes back for season 3, it's not going to come back till 2025. It took a little bit between season 1 and 2 here, so it might take a little bit longer. We shall see. But the other option is they've got the Apple event here on Tuesday, where they're announcing the new iPhones and everything. A lot of times, if you go out and you purchase a new product from Apple, oftentimes they'll include Apple TV for a couple months, usually like 3 months, something like that, maybe 6 months. So that might be another option if you're in the market for a cell phone already. So there you go. Let's see. Oh, P Mike says last month in Canada it's $11. Month now it's over 16. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. All right, let's see. He also says, oh well, I did quit Netflix because it went up $5 a month more. So maybe I'll go back to Apple TV Plus. Oh, that's okay, Gabby. That's okay. It wasn't a review. It was, well, sort of a review. It was a watch along. Bear's very first watch along. Jiminy encouraged Bear to do a watch along and then just didn't even show up. Like, okay, I'm talking to myself here. It was fun. Mainly made fun of the show. It was fun, but it also made fun of the show. But there you go. And he says, "Are they up that much?" Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you're saying Netflix in Canada. Netflix. Okay, I apologize. I don't. I forget how much Apple TV is per month. I can look it up here. Let's see. For God dang it. I have no idea why, but for whatever reason, it's deciding to shift everything. So I get like 20 things when I go to find it here. So I forget right off the top of Beard's head. $6, $8 a month, something like that. So yeah, I mean, for just binge watching the series, I really can't recommend anything else on there. I wanted to check out the Iris Elba plane hijacking show there that they had. They also have, oh gosh, what's the name of it? It's the guys from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest. It's essentially a video game company that's came out with sort of a World of Warcraft type game and kind of the hijinks behind the scenes. They got rid of F. Murray Abraham, and I was like, I'm done with it. Who in the series? They did a flashback, and F. Murray Abraham's character got to meet um, all the great sci-fi writers back then. So that was kind of an interesting thing. He um, got to talk with all that sort of stuff. It was kind of interesting flashback show. But they got rid of him for I don't know Me Too stuff. I forget what it was, but that was pretty good. The Foundation was interesting. There might be one or two other television shows on there that's okay. They do have the Peanuts. They do have Peanuts. So like around Christmas or Halloween or stuff like that, they've got those shows. They've got a couple kids shows, but Beer's not watching all that sort of stuff. So I couldn't recommend too much on there. They're coming out with the Killers of the Flower Moon or whatever it's called, the Martin Scorsese movie. That's going to be on Apple Plus, and yeah, I'm drawing a blank on anything else there. Drawing a blank. Let's see. Gabrielle tells us the woke elements are not too far off where most television has been for years. That's true. Again, I was just talking about race and gender swapping the main characters. There were a couple of times where it went to a woke direction, and then they just did the head fake on it. So that was there was interesting elements to that, but yeah, like the gay romance sort of stuff. It wasn't necessary. It would have been fine if it was a beautiful female love interest. It didn't need to be another male love interest. I didn't think it added anything. Having that gay relationship didn't really add anything to either of those characters. So I'm not really too, especially since you already gender swapped characters already. Why not make a female second in charge? I just didn't understand that part. But no, it's not as woke as Disney Plus is. That's for sure. Let's see. So it was easy for her to ignore it. That would be Gabriel. The theoretical physics concepts were what was what kept my attention, and of course, the great, the excellent, deserves all of the Emmys. Hair, makeup, all of them, all the Emmys. Talk about Lee Pace here, just some great stuff. The One of the really interesting parts, and that was David Goyer that wrote the sort of Empire. This wasn't in the books, or very little of it was in the books. He came up with the sort of the clone theory sort of situation. So in the episode here, we got to learn where that originally started from. One of the very first emperors discovers a hidden passageway beneath the palace that's been there for like thousands of years that nobody's ever seen or discovered. Goes down there and finds that the last remaining robot, because they've had like these giant robot wars, the last remaining robot was there like in different pieces and everything. So he's talking with the robot and they're both trying to gain each other's trust. And then he decides to come up with the idea of, hey, I'm not going to be able to, you know, give a son or a daughter to continue the line. So he becomes a clone. He clones himself. So they have what's called Brother Day, which is Lee Pace here, Brother Dawn, which is the younger version of the Emperor, and then they have what's called Brother Dusk, which is the older guy. So they've got kind of a range. You got your teenagers, you got your adults, and then you've got your elderly. So there's three people on the throne, but it's just Brother Day that's actually the Emperor. So he's out there and has the robot going along with it. But yeah, some of the even though it's essentially the same character, they have different traits. They sort of a nurture argument. Is it genetics or is it your environment that causes different changes? So an actor to be able to come and play essentially the same character but with differences. So his character here, you see him with the long hair, kind of the mullet here, is a little bit different than some of the other Brother Days, and you can kind of see the difference because they're going through like hundreds of years. So instead of having a brand new actor each time they needed a new emperor, they just cloned him. So they kept Lee Pace through the entire series, and on the early seasons, it was just fantastic watching him just chew through scenery. It was just it was great. Everything else could be crap, but Lee Pace chewing through the scenery, excellent. Towards the very end of the first season, they had a sort of twist at the very end where he took out one of these characters and was like, "Oh yeah, you tried to kill Brother Dusk or Brother Dawn rather. So instead, we've captured you. And oh yeah, by the way, everybody that you've known, everybody that you've met, your family, your friends, it was like 1,500 people or something like that. Uh, when I snap my fingers, they're all dead." And it was like that. I'm like, you the man, Brother Day, you the man out there, like a boss, like a boss. So I mean, anyways, that was good stuff there. Good stuff there. And finally, nice to see it come full circle, and they finally get it. So where he's smiling here, it's just it's like that is just the chef's kiss, the cherry on the top, baby. That was great. He comes in proclaiming peace. I'm here for peace. We need peace between our peoples. At the end of the episode, it's like, all right, shove the giant Death Star into the planet and cause it to blow up. Yeah, right on. Woohoo! Excellent, excellent stuff there. It sounds like it has a cool story. Yeah, it sure does. Sure does. Some of the stuff is, skippable or forgettable, and I'm not a big fan of the fantasy elements of it, where the water girl and the psychic planet that they're at. I could just pass by that. We didn't need any of that. There was a couple season started off really strong. It had a couple really great episodes at the very beginning. I was like, all right. And then they came to the psychic planet, and it was like, ah, crap. Here we go. So they had a couple episodes that weren't the best there. So Bear, wasn't expecting a really great episode here. Then all of a sudden, it's like, you guys did Star Wars better than Star Wars has done for 20 plus years, for crying out loud. So, yeah, I would say last night's episode was the best Star Wars since, I don't know, the end of the George Lucas, series there. So, the first series. So, uh, or the prequel series, but it looks 10 times as better. It looks 100 times better because they have improved with computer graphics over time. So there you go. Let's see. Though I can't say I've entirely followed it, says Amy. Well, that's all right. You don't have to. You don't have to follow along. Just watch the Empire stuff. You'll be happy. You'll be thrilled with that. And it is well done. It took a while. It took them, you know, I don't know, 10 episodes last season and 8 so far this. So 18 episodes, 18 hours or so, but they finally got it. Finally got it. I'm like, finally, you people figured this out. You cracked the nuts. You made Star Wars better than Star Wars has done a long time. So, anyways, wrap it up, Disney. You're done. You can't make anything better. I I couldn't even give directions to Disney how to make it better. Bring in Quentin Tarantino to write you a brand new Star Wars film. I mean, that's the only thing that Bear could think of. I mean, I really fire everybody at the front offices and the back offices. Keep the janitorial staff, but everybody else, uh, fire them. Take a flamethrower, whatever you got to do. Get rid of everybody and start over from scratch with just people that you find at a comic convention. It would still be 100 times better. Um, yeah, they did Star Wars better than Star Wars did. They literally did the Death Star scene, but reversed. It was the Empire that was destroying the Rebels' base. I'm like, oh, that's a flip. That's interesting. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. And it was a fighter that took him down too. Too bad it was the captain's love interest. Poor guy. Poor guy. Well, speaking of people that got Bear into this, it's Jiminy. Jiminy Cricket. He says he hasn't been watching the new season of The Foundation. Has it finally gotten God? I don't know about God, but it has gotten hella good. Hella good. Yeah, you do. He just woke up. Yeah, Bear was telling everybody about Jiminy, encouraging Bear to do a watch along of last season's season finale of the Foundation, and then just Jiminy just never even showed up. Just like, oh yeah, hey Bear, go do it. I know it's just me and you that'll, me, you, and 12 other people that watch the show. He just doesn't even show up. That's all right. That's all right, Jiminy. Bear stuck in there. Bear stuck in there. And yeah, last night he was saying they did Star Wars better than Star Wars has done in 2+ decades. Disney TV Star Wars, it was already dead. Bear didn't care about it. But I would tell people, go watch the best episode of Disney Plus Star Wars. Go watch this previous Foundation episode. There you go, and compare. Just Bear will stand back. Just compare the two. If you're a lover of Star Wars and you think the Disney Star Wars Plus stuff is great, yeah, go right ahead. Sure, fine, not a problem. It blew it out of the water. It came back out, kicked its corpse a couple more times, threw it back into the water, and then sent it on its way. The dead corpse of Disney Star Wars TV. Dead, dead, dead. DEAD, dead. Dead, 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 dead. There we go. Jimmy says, I was probably sleeping at the time. Well, how dare you? How dare you? Caught you sleeping, sir. Caught you sleeping. I guess I'll trust Bear and watch season 2. Just watch the last episode. You don't even have to watch the entire season. Just watch this last episode. They finally made an episode where it was not just good in parts, it was just excellent all the way through. Other than the gap between the 10 minutes with them fighting, but that's a whole other story. Psychic stuff, Water Girl, female Chris Rock, yada, yada, yada. Space Jesus came back again for the third time. Bashed that lady's skull in like nobody's business. I couldn't stand that lady. The psychic lady. I'm like, oh god, I didn't like her when first showed up. And all of a sudden, at the very end, freaking Space Jesus. She's like, I'm here, you're dead. Bam, bam, bam. Like, yeah, right on, Space Jesus. You the man. You the man, Space Jesus. There you go. Gabby says it's also cool that the show has different characters who are in a weird way immortal. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Sort of, kinda. I probably they needed to keep some of the characters, like Water Girl and female Chris Rock. They probably needed to keep them, so they were in like hyper sleep at the very end of last season. They met up at the end of last season. Female Chris Rock is Water Girl's daughter, which is kind of weird because Water Girl always seemed to bear like she was like maybe 15, 16 in the very first season. So it's kind of weird. Like, hey, how'd you get pregnant? But yeah, whatever. I think it was like in vitro or something like that. But yeah, those people have been around for a while. The sort of Brother Day, Brother Dawn, Brother Dusk, the robot. What was her name? It's not Damaris. Starts with a D. I can't remember right off the top of my head here, but yeah, she's around. She's been, what was it, 18,000 years or something like that that she'd been around. So interesting stuff. I don't think they'll do that, full time. They had brand new characters this season. So they have the Harbor Mallow character. They had the um, I don't know, what would you call them? Sort of monks, sort of space monks, I guess. They had some of those. A couple other new characters came in. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Has a bear gone over One Piece? No, I don't have Netflix, so sorry. It's Netflix, right? Netflix. No, I never had Netflix, and of course, the whole cutie situation. So I don't look forward to that. Thank you, Gabrielle. Finally, somebody gets Bear's terrible, awful joke. It's her bad haircut. It's true. It's true. I like how in the season where they have it where they were on the Foundation planet. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of the head, but Terminus. They were on the Terminus planet there, so they had all the previous what they call wardens, um, essentially the security for the Foundation there. So they had a female Chris Rock there with the bad haircut is like a head bust. I laughed at that. I thought that was pretty funny. They also had a bit there. I was like, okay, finally, it's her name is Gail. I gotta stop calling her Water Girl because they brought her off of the water planet and had nothing to do with water for the longest time. And like there was a scene where like she was in like a trance or a psychic daze or something like that. And they threw water on her to get her out of the daze. I was like, oh god, no, they just took her right back to Water Girl. But other than that, yeah, there we go. I had to come up with some funny names. Watching the first season was difficult. Difficult. I liked elements of it, and I didn't like other elements of it. So I had to go in there and make fun of it. Have a little fun with beer here. Here we go. So no, I haven't seen One Piece. I heard it's pretty good. Heard it's pretty good. And she doesn't look a day over 17,065 years old. It's true. It is a true out there. I thought that was really cool. I hope I'm not spoiling stuff, but uh they found the planet Earth. They found the solar system. Again, it's humanity that went out into the Milky Way, and this is like 15, 20,000 years ago in their modern time. So humanity has been out in the space for ages and ages and ages. So essentially, it is the Roman Empire, the fall of the Roman Empire, but in space. So yeah, very, very interesting how they kind of bring all that stuff around and make some of the historical analogies with a far-flung future thing. So it was really interesting that they found the robot lady. I'm trying to remember her name. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but she has like, I guess, to fix her skin. Think of it like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. So they've got like the fake skin over the robotic, metallic body. So evidently there was something on the planet Earth that she was able to get some like cosmetic stuff where she could fix. In the very first episode, they try to kill Brother Day, and the robot lady saves the day, so to speak. It gets like half of her face chopped off. So she's like going through part of the episode with like half of her face just chopped off. It's kind of interesting. So she had to go back and fix that and all that sort of stuff. Interesting stuff there. But yeah, very, very cool. I can talk about this all evening here, especially since all the other stuff that Beer tried to do. Oh, for crying out loud, people! If you weren't here at the very beginning, that was maddening. Maddening for Beer. Maddening for Beer. Her name is C3PO. It could be. It could be. Again, a lot of the stuff that Star Wars used actually came borrowed a little bit from the Foundation. So it's interesting to see the Foundation basically just saying, "Oh, okay, Star Wars, we're going to rip you off a little bit and then just do it 10 times better." I thought that was just like, oh, chef's kiss. You guys knocked it out of the park on that one. Congratulations. Congratulations. And it was a female writer. Take that. Take that, Hollywood. Female writer that read that. All right. Let's see. Sam asked, is there any variation of the Force in this? Yes. So what they call it's called essentially psychohistory, if Bill remembers correctly. It's essentially how they're predicting the future. It's how Henry Seldon says, "Oh, okay, the Empire is going to fall. We need to make a beeline to the edge of the galaxy to make essentially a space library. So when everything collapses and falls down, humanity has a place to go to rebuild. The foundation, if you will." So they have stuff with the main character Gale. I call her Water Girl, where she has like psychic things where she can like predict the future. So there's stuff like that, and her daughter, female Chris Rock, she is able to. She has like another psychic ability. I can't remember what it was right off the top of my head, but like she can read other people, that sort of deal. So there's not like any. Like I wouldn't say there's like forced ghosts, or they had some. It wasn't really levitation. There were two kind of psychics that were fighting back and forth. So they had this sort of the whoo, the psychic push, if you will. So they had, I wouldn't say like levitation or anything, but there wasn't any like these aren't the droids that you're looking for, that sort of deal. Um, uh, very tangentially. If Star Wars is fantasy with a little bit of science in it, this is very, very much science with a little bit of fantasy in it. So the tenets of the Foundation, they basically form a religion to pray to, I call him Space Jesus, Henry Seldon, to um, give them guidance and everything. So they have a sort of religious aspect going along with it, but uh, it's mainly devoted to science. Their religion is essentially science. It's essentially physics or chemistry or that sort of deal. So it's a little bit different. I think Lucas kind of took some elements from the Foundation, and then uh, 1970s, late 60s, early 70s, it was very much kind of the sort of new age. the crystals and all that sort of stuff. So that very much influenced Star Wars a little bit more than sort of fantasy stuff in the Foundation. If that's the best way that Bear can describe it here, best way he can describe it here. She will always be Water Girl to us. Oh, it's true. It's true. God, some of those first episodes, it was like, oh god, not Water Girl again. Really, you could just fast forward through all that stuff. You wouldn't miss a thing. Wouldn't miss a thing. Jimmy says, I got Bear's joke. I just didn't want to encourage him. There you go. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, sir. All right, all right. Let me see here. It's like she is an ESPer. It's true. Yeah, there you go. Let me just go ahead, in case you haven't seen it and you just kind of want to get a flavor of it. Oh, gosh, dang it. Why does it keep doing this? Um, uh, let's see. Will it do it? Will it copy link? Ah, for crying out loud. If you go up in the chat there, if you go up in the chat, Bear dropped a link. I'm sorry, Bear's computer is just giving him just craziness here. But if you scroll back up, probably about halfway there or so, Bear dropped a link. Go check out that video. He's talking with David S. Warrior about that sort of stuff, about the episode, about Foundation in general, kind of how he came to it, how they did it, the episode itself, all that sort of stuff. So if you haven't seen anything about the Foundation, don't know anything about it other than what Bear's told you, sorry, spoiler alerts. Um, go check out that episode. I would definitely would recommend that. So Earth is in this. Apparently. Now we never see Earth. We never go there. We're never there. It was essentially the robot handmaiden. I guess you call a co-empress. I guess. She is given a box from the very first emperor, who was the genetic source for all of the brother days and the brother dusts and the brother dawns. He um, through the years, evidently. Now this is told in like compressed time here, but apparently he was trying to find the best, because robots, they had a giant war, so they got rid of all the or they got rid of all the robots because they were a little bit of Isaac Asimov's I, Robot in this. They have the three laws of the robots, and then the robots decided to go against that and start killing people. So they finally got rid of all the robots, except for the one lady that's there. And so the very first emperor, he's like, okay, we need to find out more about these robots. We haven't seen them in thousands of years. So he goes around and searches high and low, and he finds a sort of cosmetic box, I guess you could say, for the robots there. And on there, it has all of the planets. So it has, the star and, Mercury and Venus and Earth and da 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 da. So it has all that on there. But we never see Earth. We never go to Earth. It's kind of like, I guess the best way to describe it is like Earth in Battlestar Galactica, the one on the Sci-Fi Channel, the more recent one. Um, where it was kind of like a myth, or people have heard about it. We came from the Earth. It's kind of like, okay, human beings came from Africa, and then they moved out, out to all the four corners of the Earth. So it'd be like kind of saying like Earth is Mother Africa or something like that. Although we can still go to Africa. But yeah, kind of out of sight, out of mind, but it's still kind of there. Still kind of there. So yes, apparently Earth is still in this. Watch, we find out that what is it? Terminus. We find out Terminus was actually Earth, and they blew it up. Bum, 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. There we go. There we are. I'm just gonna keep spoiling the show for everybody. But no, go check out that link. It'll kind of give you an overview of the show, and kind of a little bit behind the scenes stuff of what was going on. I didn't get through the entire thing, so I hope it doesn't spoil a whole lot. But yeah, no, definitely go check it out. Go check it out. Love how the nurse maid is, in a lot of ways, more human than the Emperor. I liked the episode where they went to this is in the first season. They went to I forget the name of it, but it was a religious planet. They were going to go to a religious planet. They were trying to get the religious leaders to essentially the emperors were clones, and these religious people saw clones as not pure, so they weren't going to back the emperor. So the emperor wanted to come there to make sure that, hey, yes, I'm cool, I'm legit, you know, I'm not a freak of nature, that sort of deal. So he was trying to convince the religious folks of that. So they says, "Oh, okay, well, go on a religious pilgrimage." So he goes on the religious pilgrimage. Very good episode. Very good episode. Goes on the pilgrimage. He's supposed to have seen like a vision of their god, their vision of the god there. So he goes back, gives them a bunch of hooey, lies to their faces. Says, "Oh yeah, of course, I saw all this sort of stuff." And they're like, "Oh wow, yes, I guess." If you're a clone and you saw the visions from our god, then you got to be legit. So we're with you. And then it becomes revealed that he never saw anything. He just kind of lied. But the robot did. The robot went through that like thousands and thousands of years previous and had, completed everything, saw her vision and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's really interesting how she has emotions, but at the same time is a robot as well. So you can see where she's caring, like for the younger Dawn, excuse me, the younger Dawn, where she's like kind of a maternal a mother figure. In this season, she's more of a mistress, I would say, for Day here, except for at the very end of the episode, which is kind of interesting. And then is more of a, I guess, foil for Brother Dusk a little bit because she recognizes Brother Dusk as the original emperor who let her out, but at the same time kind of enslaved her a little bit. So they have a little bit of a friction there. So yeah, there is a kind of relationship going on there. But yeah, very very interesting, very interesting. Although I gotta say, there are a lot of great emotional stuff with Lee Pace, and I'm trying to remember the actor for Brother Dusk, but yeah, they ended up getting into some arguments and some fights and stuff like that. So very cool, very cool. A good for Earth, says Amy. It doesn't get Pluto-ed it. Pluto-ed it. Pluto-ed it. Now, Bear still recognizes 9 planets. Screw you, Neil deGrasse Tyson. There is 9 planets out there, and one of them is Pluto. He just gets his jollies because he's like, well, I can't discover a planet, but I can take one away. Ha ha! Look at me, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like, go away. You're not even a good scientist. Thank you, Amy. Pluto is a planet. Pluto is a planet. Sam is heading out. Thank you, Sam. God bless you as well. Glad to have you here. Appreciate it. Come on by. Come on back. Bear would appreciate it. Oh well, Bear would. Let's just try it. Let's just have some giggles here. Okay, can I do it? No, of course not. For crying out loud. All right. Well, had a couple other news stuff out there, but it wasn't as important as the Foundation just completely stomping all over Star Wars, just completely stomping on it. So, excuse me. I guess because I can't get to a whole lot of that stuff, folks. I'd probably go ahead and call it here as well because we're still trying to figure out how to do it on the computer without it. I'd hate to try something and it completely crashes everything. So I think we'll go ahead. Unless anybody else has any other questions out here, I would recommend going and checking out. If you can't check out the show, I'm sorry I can't drop the link again. Well, wait a minute, can I? Maybe it's still copied and pasted. Ha ha! There you smarty. There you go. So go check out that video. If you haven't watched the Foundation, that gives you a kind of an overview of the episode and also the entire series itself from from the actual showrunner and writer and director and co-creator. A number of other things. No crypto news, asks Amy. Sorry, no. Sorry, no. I don't have any good crypto. Always crypto news is bad. So you just gotta take the lot. Is it kind of bad? Is it sort of bad? Is it really bad? That sort of deal. So no, I'm sorry. No news of any kind, unfortunately. No news because it's just not working. Let's see. Let's see if I can get that. See, I can do that. I can't get it to go because it like selects everything else when I try it. Yep. Still does it. Although I can do like I can do that. See how that goes. I don't know why it's doing that. I'll just have to restart the thing again and get it to work. That always happens, right before Beer goes online. Everything's perfect, everything's working. Let me just click this right here, and then it all goes to you know what, people. You know what's and you know where. All right, well, let me think. P-Money, all of the Lesters out there, even Bear himself. Let me see. Did Grant show up? Yeah, Grant. No, Gabrielle. Sam, good to have Sam here. Great to have Gabrielle. I'm so glad that somebody else out there is watching the Foundation, other than Bear and 12 other people. There you go. So thank you, Gabrielle. Hope you enjoyed the show here. Hope you enjoyed the show. And of course, Jiminy Cricket as well, showing up late, sleeping not only on Beer but also on the Foundation. So just go ahead and binge it. Go ahead and binge it there, and you'll hopefully enjoy it out here. No news is good news. No news is good news. Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Jiminy is crying out here. I told you early on. Hey, go check out the Foundation this season. It's actually not too bad. Saw the first episode, and it's like Lee Pace is just fighting with his wang out there, trying to take out all the assassins trying to get to him. Cut off the lady's face too. Couldn't believe it. Like, Jimmy, you gotta go check it out. Oh yeah, I'll go check it out. Yeah, eventually, one of these days, maybe. Well, now you're behind, sir. Now you are behind. Why you gotta do that to me, Bear? Why you gotta do that to me? Well, you know how it goes, sir. No, a good series. You can skip past a lot of the Water Girl stuff, but yeah, just watch all the Empire stuff, and you'll get the idea. You'll get the idea behind it. A couple good first episodes there. Like the last before this episode, the last two or three were okay. They were fine. But yeah, for the season, doing pretty good. Want to just keep it on that trajectory for next episode because it really needs it. They really need to come back with a third season and just utterly crush Star Wars. And I know I say that as a Star Trek fan, so I'm not saying for all the Star Wars lovers out there that it's not any joy to bear. I want you people to go see good space adventures out there. Disney Star Wars TV is not it. Is not it. So thank you. There you go. All right, people. Well, Bear with just barely hanging on by his claws, some duct tape, and your prayers, has made it through a show. So go check out the Foundation if you want to check it out. Some good stuff. Good stuff for you good people. How bittersweet indeed. All right, well, Beer, you know what? All this talk about Foundations, somehow it's made Beer hungry. So he's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people. Grrr, a grr.